Hello everyone. Sorry, I'm just getting my seat. Hi. So today I wanted to share with you guys how to use a pendulum and different ways you can use a pendulum. Um, in different divinatory ways. But first, I just wanted to share really quick. I'm having such a great day, both related to magic and non-related. Um, I didn't have work today. Normally I teach at my dad's karate school, and I did not have to go to work today, but I did actually shoot pictures for my dentist's office new website, and they paid me like 80 bucks for like 2 hours, which was awesome because I am broke, like I said, and it's just nice to have any type of money, or any amount rather. And also this morning I went ontherocks.com, which on the rocks is crystal store. I'll put the links below. And I bought a selenite stick, and which I'm going to use for representing the goddess and for Espot because Espot because it has like lunar energies to it. And I also bought a bunch of pieces of fluorite, like small rough pieces of fluorite, because it's becoming one of my new favorite stones. But anyway. So pendulums. I had to get that out of the way, I apologize. Okay. Pendulums are a tool which are most commonly used for divination. Along with tarot, which I'll make another video for after this, and runes, and wild tossing, any other type of divination you could think of, pendulums is one of those tools. I started using pendulums about 2 years ago, when I first started learning about everything, and I recently wanted to share with you the one that I've been using lately because it was given to me by a good friend of mine who uses pendulums all the time, and it's awesome. So anyway, so this is my pendulum. It is a moonstone pendulum with a silver chain. Maybe it's not real silver, I don't know, but I like to think it's real silver. And then the top there, that little top bead, is also moonstone, if you could see it. But this is moonstone. Okay, and the most basic way to use a pendulum for divination is you simply ask it yes or no questions. Now, I find it easier if the question isn't subjective to opinion, if it's just a straight-on yes or no question. Like, you could ask it, is the sky blue? And it'll obviously, as long as you live on Earth, say yes. But you can't ask it like, oh, should I spend this much money on that? I mean, you can ask it that and it will give you an answer, but I find it to be less accurate when you ask something that's an opinion. First thing you always want to do is charge your pendulum to work for you with your own energies, or with, you can smudge it, you can light an incense, you can, anything you want. Since this is a crystal, you can cleanse it like how you would cleanse any crystal that you have, and then charge it. You always want to ask, before you ask any real questions, to have it show you yes and no. So for example, if I say, show me yes, it starts spinning clockwise. Because usually when I work with my pendulum, clockwise means yes, and counterclockwise means no. So for example, again, if I say show me no, it'll start to spin counterclockwise. Now this is one of those things I've noticed where it's always like, skeptics are always kind of, oh, your hand twitched, oh, you're moving your hand, oh, you're doing this. It's like people when, you see people working with Ouija boards or playing with Ouija boards, which, by the way, they're not a toy. Oh, you're moving it with your hand, you're moving it with your hand, blah, blah, blah. I'm not. What happens is, your higher self, your subconscious, your all that is higher energy, if whatever you like to call it, channels down through your hand and through the cord into the base of the pendulum, and then that is how you get your answer. So it's not fake. It's not me, spinning my hand like this to get it to go, right? So you can use it for that, yes or no questions. Another way you can use a pendulum is actually for healing. Because this is a moonstone pendulum, I don't necessarily use it for healing unless I'm healing with the crown chakra, or unless I'm healing the crown chakra, because that's what I associate this with, or sometimes the third eye chakra. But you can have the person lay down flat, so if the person's laying across the table, like let's say my tarot cards are a person, right? This is their head, this is their feet, right? I can hold it above their third eye and just have it rotate clockwise, okay? And then that will direct energy from the tip of the pendulum through the base, down that little point, and into the person's chakra to get the energy flowing and to put it back in balance. With like maybe a clear quartz pendulum, you can use that, for any chakra really, or you can just have 7 different pendulums associated with 7 different chakras, and just have it go, counterclockwise above that, 3 to 6 inches above that chakra until you intuitively feel that chakra has been realigned. Sometimes it may take 30 seconds, sometimes it may take 5-10 minutes, depending on how out of whack the person's chakras are. So that's another way you can use it, is for healing. Now, another way that I don't see much people talking about, this is a form of divination, at least I like to think so, but you can make pendulum charts with this. So if you see one, I just made an example one with just money on them. They had $20, $40, $60, and $80. And I'm just going to check how much time I have left as I explain this. So you break the chart down, perfect, I have 3 minutes. You break the chart down into a circle with however many sections you want. And you always want to make sure that you make 2 of each section across from each other, that way the pendulum can swing. Okay? So for this one, I could just say, how much money am I going to make tomorrow? Just something silly like that. So you hold it in the center of the circle where all the lines, meet in the center, and then, we'll ask, how much money am I going to make tomorrow? And then essentially it will start swinging back and forth, going across the number that you wrote down, or whatever you wrote down. It doesn't have to just be for money. It could be for, I hate to say, I hate to promote this, but, if you're going to have a test in school and it's multiple choice, put down A, B, C, D, E, what's the answer to number 1? But I've actually done it before and it doesn't always work. So cheating is not good, and the universe knows that. But right now this is saying $40. I'm babysitting tomorrow, so that's probably just how much I'm going to get for babysitting. So that's an example. And then when you want to reset the pendulum to ask a new question, you can just slide your hand down very slowly to still it, or you can just ask it to still itself in your mind, which takes a little longer, but it does work. And the more connected you are to your pendulum and the more you use it, I've noticed the more liveliness it has to it when it does respond to your questions. And it'll work faster, it'll give you more solid answers, and it's great, And if you ever have trouble, or if the pendulum isn't sure how to answer your question, it'll kind of just do a weird shake, and sometimes you'll even be able to feel like an uncertainty with it. I would just still it and then maybe rephrase your question and ask it differently. But remember, it's not like with cards or with some other forms of divination where you can go into great specific detail. It's mostly just for yes or no questions, or using a chart like I said. But remember, it could also be used for healing. So anyway guys, that's my video on pendulums. If you have any questions, if there's other things that I didn't touch on, because I could go into more specific detail with it, but I only have 10 minutes per video, so I'm running out of time. But if you have any other questions, please ask me in my inbox or in a comment. Please subscribe, and I love you guys. Mwah. I hope you all have wonderful days. Blessed be.